Imagine walking into work, and the moment you clock in, a machine starts judging you. Not your boss, not a supervisor, a silent system. Watching everything you do, your movements, your pace, your breaks, your output, second by second, and you don't even know it's happening. He doesn't know why. He doesn't know how it was calculated. He only knows this score could affect his hours, his raise, even his job. And here's the part that should make every American uncomfortable. What if your job performance and your paycheck is already controlled by algorithms you've never met? Because for millions of workers, that future isn't coming. It's already here. 40% of American workers, 40% don't realize their productivity is already being tracked by AI in real time. Not next year, not in some sci-fi future. Now. And the companies leading this shift aren't fringe tech startups. They're the giants. Amazon, Walmart, UPS. Some of the largest employers in the United States have quietly built monitoring systems that evaluate employees' automatically logs, sensors, scanners, workflow algorithms, all running in the background, collecting thousands of micro data points a day. Most workers never see the dashboard, but the dashboard sees them. It calculates, it ranks, it scores, and sometimes it punishes. You think it's just warehouses? Think again. Retail, logistics, healthcare, customer service, even entry-level office jobs. AI-driven evaluation is creeping into every corner of the American workforce, reshaping how people are paid, promoted, or replaced, often without a single conversation. And millions of Americans are walking straight into this new economy totally unprepared. But here's the real shock, and the reason you should keep watching. The AI economy isn't dangerous because it replaces jobs. It's dangerous because it rewrites power quietly, invisibly, before anyone realizes what changed. And in the next few minutes, you're going to see exactly how that shift is already affecting ordinary workers. Meet Michael, 28 years old, a warehouse worker who thought he understood his job, until the day the system started scoring him. Michael shows up early. He works hard. He lifts, scans, sorts, and moves more boxes than most people on his shift. But none of that matters to the algorithm. One morning, his handheld device flashes a warning. Low productivity score. Michael is confused. He wasn't slow. He didn't take extra breaks. He didn't miss targets. But the system doesn't explain itself. It never does. He tries to work faster, but the score doesn't budge. He asks a supervisor. They don't know either. He goes home wondering whether this mysterious number will cost him hours or shove him to the bottom of the next scheduling list. For Michael, the scariest part isn't losing his job. It's not knowing why any of this is happening, and he's not alone. Millions of Americans are stepping into a new kind of workplace, one where performance isn't judged by humans, but by invisible algorithms calculating thousands of micro decisions every day. And most people have never been taught how to survive in that kind of system. Americans are entering an AI economy they were never trained for. Not in school, not at work, not in any traditional job training program. They're being evaluated by tools they don't understand, compared against standards they've never seen, and ranked by systems they can't question. And that disconnect between what workers think the job is and what the algorithm expects is growing wider every single month. But here's the part almost no one is ready for. This isn't about robots replacing everyone. It's about something far more dangerous, something that affects every paycheck, every promotion, every career path, something that rewrites power in the American workplace without anyone noticing until it's too late. And unless we understand what that something is, the AI economy won't just change how Americans work. It will change who gets to succeed at all. Most Americans think the danger of AI is simple: machines replacing jobs. But the truth is far more subtle and far more damaging, because AI isn't just taking jobs, it's creating traps. Silent traps that millions of workers are already falling into without even realizing it. There are 3 of them. The first is the skill mismatch trap, a trap where the skills people have no longer match the skills the economy demands. Think about it. Workers trained for routine tasks are now expected to navigate AI tools, manage data flows, troubleshoot automated systems, and make judgment calls the algorithm can't. But no one ever taught them how to do any of this. So workers try harder, but fall behind anyway. Not because they're lazy, but because the rules changed and nobody told them. And that's the trap. The second is the wage compression trap. A trap where AI pushes paychecks in opposite directions. Entry-level workers suddenly earn more because AI boosts their efficiency, but mid-level workers, the people who used to be safe, find their wages frozen, narrowed, or even pushed down. Their experience becomes less valuable, not more. Imagine spending 10 years becoming great at your job, only to discover AI tools have made your expertise cheaper. That's wage compression. It doesn't destroy your job. It quietly erodes the value of your labor. And most Americans don't see it happening until it's too late. The third is the algorithmic evaluation trap, a trap where workers aren't judged by people anymore, but by opaque scoring systems no one can explain. If the algorithm thinks you're slow, even for one day, your ranking drops, your hours shrink, your opportunities vanish, and you may never know why. Two employees doing the same work can receive completely different scores, not because of performance, but because of data glitches, sensors, misreads, or flawed models. Yet the algorithm's judgment becomes reality. It becomes the truth inside the company, and workers have no way to challenge it. Three traps, three silent forces, reshaping the American workforce from the inside out. Skill mismatch, wage compression, algorithmic evaluation. And together, they create a new form of pressure, a pressure Americans feel every day at work, even if they can't name what's causing it. But here's the part nobody sees. These traps don't destroy jobs immediately. They weaken workers slowly, quietly, invisibly, until one day, the job they thought was stable no longer feels stable at all. Now here's where the invisible trap tightens even further. Most workers don't actually understand how the AI evaluating them works. They don't know what it measures. They don't know what it ignores. They don't know what counts as a penalty or what counts as a reward. The system doesn't explain itself. It doesn't justify its decisions. It simply produces a score, a number that suddenly has the power to shape a person's livelihood. Workers try to guess the rules. They try to work faster, move differently, avoid breaks, skip steps, anything to push the number up. But the algorithm isn't watching the job the way a human would. It's watching patterns. It's watching anomalies. It's watching metrics most employees don't even know exist. And when the score drops, workers blame themselves. Even when the algorithm is wrong, that confusion isn't accidental. It's structural. Because America never built a training system for an AI-driven workforce. For decades, U.S. job training programs were built for predictable careers. Factory work, retail, transportation, office administration, clear roles, clear expectations, clear ladders to climb. But the AI economy doesn't work that way. AI reshapes tasks weekly. It rewrites job descriptions overnight. It changes the value of a worker's skills without warning. And no national training framework exists to help Americans keep up. Schools aren't teaching real-world AI literacy. Community colleges are years behind industry needs. Companies assume workers will figure it out. Workers assume someone will teach them, but no one does. And that gap between what workers know and what the AI requires is becoming one of the biggest vulnerabilities in the American labor market. It's not that Americans can't adapt, it's that they were never shown how. They were never given the tools. They were never given the training. And while they're trying to catch up, the algorithms keep moving forward. That's why the trap is invisible. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It doesn't look like crisis. It looks like a normal day at work until the system decides you're falling behind. Most Americans assume they're safe, but the data proves the opposite. There's a reason millions of Americans feel unprepared for the future. It's not because they're unwilling to learn. It's because the ground under them is shifting faster than anyone expected. And nowhere is this clearer than in what economists now call the middle skill meltdown. For decades, middle skill jobs were the backbone of the American economy. They weren't entry-level, but they didn't require advanced degrees either. They were stable, respectable, middle-class roles. Technical support, administrative work, manufacturing, logistics, bookkeeping. Jobs that paid enough to build a life. But AI is crushing those jobs from both sides. On one side, automation is taking over the repetitive tasks that used to define them. On the other, high-skill AI tools now allow fewer workers to do more work, which means companies no longer need as many mid-tier employees. The result? Middle-skill jobs aren't disappearing overnight. They're being squeezed, eroded, hollowed out. The ladder of opportunity that once lifted millions into the middle class is getting thinner every year. And here's the part that hits hardest. The skills Americans were taught are no longer the skills the economy rewards. Schools still teach linear problem solving. AI requires adaptive reasoning. Schools teach memorization. AI renders memorization irrelevant. Schools teach static tools. AI demands constant relearning and retooling. There's a mismatch, a widening disconnect between what Americans learn in classrooms and what they need to survive in the workplace. And the data is brutal. According to Pew, 60% of American workers lack the digital skills required to thrive in AI-enhanced jobs. Not advanced AI skills, basic digital literacy. And McKinsey estimates that 30% of all jobs in the U.S. are fundamentally changing in their daily tasks. Not by 2050, but right now. That means almost a third of the workforce is already doing work their training never prepared them for. But here's the real shock. Americans aren't failing because they're unskilled. They're failing because the skill map changed while they were busy trying to survive. No one told them what skills would matter. No one showed them how fast the change was coming. And no one built a system to help them adjust. A middle skill meltdown. A massive mismatch in training. A workforce left behind by a future moving too fast. And unless something changes, this collapse isn't just going to reshape the economy. It's going to redefine who gets to thrive in it. And if you think this collapse only affects warehouse workers or office staff, look closer. It's hitting almost every corner of the American workforce, including jobs people once believed were untouchable. Take teachers. For years, teachers were told their work could never be automated because it relied on human connection. But now they're expected to navigate AI grading tools, adaptive learning platforms, digital curriculum systems, and performance dashboards, often without proper training, clear guidelines, or support. Instead of spending more time teaching, they spend more time trying to keep up with technology that was supposed to make the job easier. The burnout rates are rising, the expectations are rising, but the preparation isn't. Then look at bankers, loan officers, credit analysts, mid-tier financial staff. Jobs that once required steady judgment and professional expertise are now under pressure from AI-driven risk models and automated decision engines. The system decides faster. The system decides cheaper. The system decides without the decades of experience a banker used to rely on. Suddenly, the value of experience shrinks. The path to promotion shrinks. The stability shrinks. Even high-trust professions aren't immune. And then there's logistics workers, people like Michael, people who move the physical backbone of the U.S. economy. Every day they're asked to interact with automated pick systems, AI route planners, digital scanners, wearable trackers, all while being scored by algorithms that don't consider human limitations, fatigue, or context. When the system pushes harder, they have no choice but to push with it. These workers didn't fail. The system around them changed faster than anyone could adapt. And the old guarantees: work hard, learn your role, grow within your job, don't hold the same power they once did, because the collapse of middle skill stability isn't happening to one industry. It's happening across all of them. Teachers feel it, bankers feel it, logistics workers feel it, millions more will feel it next. And the consequences are bigger than individual jobs or isolated workers. They're reshaping the structure of the American workforce itself. And this collapse is creating a new divide, one that's tearing the country apart. America has always talked about the rich and the poor, the coastal cities and the heartland, the educated and the non-educated. But the AI economy is creating a new divide, one unlike anything the country has seen before. Two Americas, and they're splitting apart fast. On one side is the AI-ready class. These are workers who combine soft skills, communication, judgment, creativity, problem solving, with enough technical understanding to work alongside AI systems instead of being replaced by them. They know how to learn quickly. They know how to adapt when tools change. They know how to make decisions when the algorithm can't. They don't need to write code, but they understand how to think in a world built by code. And in the AI economy, adaptability is the new currency. But on the other side is the AI vulnerable class. These are workers whose jobs depend on tasks that are predictable, repeatable, and easy for algorithms to automate. They follow set procedures. They complete defined steps. They rely on experience built over years. Experience that AI systems can now replicate in seconds. They're not unskilled. They're not incapable. They're simply exposed. Because their roles were designed for a world before automation. And for millions of Americans, this vulnerability isn't a theory. It's their reality. So which jobs are hit first? Jobs where the daily tasks can be broken into patterns. Data entry, customer service, back office processing, retail management, basic accounting, scheduling and logistics coordination. Any role where the job is essentially, follow this workflow, repeat this process. AI can do that faster. AI can do it cheaper. AI can do it 24/7. These workers feel the pressure first. They feel the anxiety first. They feel their future narrowing before anyone acknowledges the change. But here's the twist. While some jobs get squeezed, others explode in value. The AI economy is boosting wages in fields where humans do what algorithms cannot. Strategic thinking, complex problem solving, creative production, human negotiation, leadership and team building. Roles where judgment, empathy, nuance, or big picture insight still matter. AI makes these workers more productive, so companies pay more to keep them. Product managers, data literate analysts, AI-assisted designers, skilled technicians, automation supervisors, high-level service professionals, creators and communicators who know how to use AI tools effectively. Their value isn't just increasing, it's skyrocketing. So as AI reshapes the workforce, America isn't splitting into the rich and the poor anymore. It's splitting into the augmented and the replaced. Those who rise with AI and those who fight to keep up with it. Two Americas, defined not by wealth or background, but by who can adapt to the machines that now shape the economy. And this divide isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. But this divide isn't just about skills, it's about who gets left behind first. And when you look closely, the unfairness becomes impossible to ignore. Older Americans feel it the hardest. They spent decades mastering jobs built on human experience, negotiation, routine management, manual processes, face-to-face service. Now they're told they must adapt to AI-driven systems, new software interfaces, digital workflows, automated tools, all at a speed that feels impossible. They're not less capable, they're less supported. No one trained them for this shift. No one explained the rules of the new economy. Many aren't even offered meaningful retraining programs. So instead of growing, they shrink into roles the algorithm hasn't taken yet, hoping those roles survive long enough. Then there are low-income workers. These are the people whose jobs are the easiest to automate and whose resources to retrain are the most limited. They don't have time for 6-month programs. They don't have money for new certifications. They don't have the safety net to learn while they transition. They're juggling rent, bills, childcare, and unpredictable schedules. AI tools promise efficiency, but for low-income workers, efficiency often means fewer hours, fewer opportunities, and fewer paths upward. And the people with the least power end up facing the most risk. Finally, there's the group America rarely talks about, the millions with limited formal education. They aren't less intelligent. They aren't less driven. They simply come from schools and communities that never had the funding to teach digital literacy or technical adaptability. When AI arrives in their workplace, it arrives like a foreign language. The system expects them to understand, but no one ever taught them how. These workers get judged faster, scored harsher, and replaced sooner. Not because they can't learn, but because they were never given a fair starting point. So as AI divides the workforce into the empowered and the vulnerable, it's the elderly, the poor, and the less formally educated who fall into the widening cracks first. A divide created not by talent, but by access. Not by effort, but by opportunity. And the cruelest part? Most people don't realize they're standing on the wrong side of that divide until the moment the system shifts beneath their feet. But the real danger isn't job loss. It's the illusion of stability. The belief that my role is safe, that my industry won't change, that this doesn't apply to me. Because in the AI economy, the roles that look safest today are often the ones transforming silently, quietly, invisibly, until they're not safe at all. For most Americans, the real pressure of the AI economy isn't about losing a job. It's about something far more personal, far more immediate, and far more terrifying: their paycheck. And here's the paradox no one wants to talk about. AI is making workers more productive, but their wages aren't rising with that productivity. Across industries, output is increasing. Efficiency is increasing. Companies are generating more value with the same number of workers, or fewer. But paychecks? They're barely moving. Americans are working harder, moving faster, learning new tools, adapting to new systems, yet their salaries don't reflect any of it. And AI is at the center of this tension, because as AI improves efficiency, it also reshapes the value of labor, and it doesn't reshape it evenly. This is what economists now call AI wage compression. On one end of the spectrum, entry-level workers see wages rise. AI tools boost their output, fill skill gaps, and help them perform tasks that once required more experience. A worker with 1 year on the job can suddenly produce the work of someone with 5. Companies love that. It lowers training costs. It shortens onboarding time. It creates a pool of cheaper, faster, AI-augmented labor. So entry-level wages go up, but only just enough to attract workers, not enough to truly change their lives. Meanwhile, mid-level workers, the backbone of most organizations, find themselves squeezed from both sides. Their experience doesn't carry the same premium it used to. Their specialized tasks get automated, assisted, or distributed across AI-driven workflows. The result? Mid-level wages stall. Raises slow down. Promotions vanish. The path upward becomes thinner and thinner. This isn't theoretical. It's already happening. Ask a designer. Software once required years of mastery. Now AI tools generate layouts, drafts, variations, even full concepts in seconds. Senior designers spend more time reviewing machine output than creating original work, and the value of their expertise quietly declines. Ask an accountant. Routine analysis, reconciliation, compliance checks. AI systems perform them faster, more accurately, at lower cost. Entry-level accountants suddenly need fewer years of experience. Mid-level accountants see fewer opportunities to grow. Ask an analyst. The core of their job, gathering data, structuring insights, is now handled by automation. What's left is interpretation, but companies need fewer interpreters. When the raw work is done automatically, across all these roles, the same pattern appears. AI lifts the bottom and flattens the middle. And for a country built on the promise of upward mobility, that's not just an economic issue. It's a psychological one. Because when the middle collapses, the future collapses with it. And this is where the pressure becomes emotional. Because while factories and warehouses feel the force of automation first, the panic spreading through American offices is something entirely different. Something quieter, sharper, and far more personal. A kind of micro-panic. Not loud enough to make headlines. Not dramatic enough to spark protests. But constant, daily, and impossible to ignore once it starts. It's the project manager who wonders why their workload just doubled after the company integrated new AI tools. It's the analyst who watches automated dashboards perform half their job and starts questioning how long their role will matter. It's the graphic designer who submits original work, only to be asked, why didn't you just generate this faster with AI? It's the accountant who sees junior staff producing AI-assisted reports that used to require years of experience. It's the HR specialist forced to learn automation software with no training, no guidance, and no extra pay. It's the marketing employee who keeps hearing, we don't need more people, we just need better AI prompts. And every time a worker in these roles opens their email, every time there's a company meeting, every time leadership announces new efficiencies, they feel a small, sharp spike of fear. Is this the moment my job changes? Is this the moment my skills stop mattering? Is this the moment the algorithm takes over the part of my work that made me valuable? It's not a full-blown crisis. Not yet. It's a lingering sense that the ground is shifting, and you're the only one pretending not to feel it. This is the emotional toll of wage compression. Workers aren't just losing money, they're losing confidence, they're losing clarity. They're losing the sense of direction that made career growth feel possible. And when wages stop rising, when mobility grinds to a halt, when the middle class feels itself sinking, there's a far greater consequence than economic discomfort. Because if wages fail, the American dream collapses next. For generations, Americans believed in a simple equation: work hard, move up, build a life, a home, a stable income, a family you could support, a future you could plan. That wasn't just a dream, it was a promise. But in the AI economy, a promise that once felt unshakable is starting to crack. Because while wages flatten, the cost of simply living in America is rising faster than at any time in modern history. Housing is the first pressure point. Across the country, home prices climb year after year, far beyond what middle-class incomes can match. A starter home that once required discipline and saving now requires luck, timing, and debt. And renters aren't spared either. Monthly payments eat up half their income before they've bought groceries or paid a single bill. Then comes healthcare, the financial landmine every American fears. Even with insurance, a single emergency room visit can wipe out savings. A surgery can mean long-term debt. A chronic condition can drain a family's budget, month after month, year after year. And all of this is happening while the cost of food, transportation, childcare, and education rises faster than the paycheck meant to support it. AI was supposed to help. AI was supposed to make life easier. AI was supposed to increase productivity, lower costs, and lift standards of living. But that's not how the transition feels to most Americans. Instead of creating more room to breathe, the AI economy is tightening the margins, making the traditional markers of success feel further and further out of reach. A house, a stable career, a savings account, a future that feels secure. Each one is drifting away for families who are working as hard as ever. And behind every data point, there's a household trying to keep itself together. Imagine a typical American family: 2 working adults, 2 kids, no luxuries. They're not irresponsible. They're not overspending. They're doing everything right. But every month, the math gets harder. Rent rises. Insurance premiums rise. Food costs rise. Utilities rise. Childcare rises. And the paycheck? It stays almost the same. They start cutting back. First on small things, then on essentials. Vacations disappear. Savings disappear. Emergency funds disappear. Eventually, even stability disappears. They're not falling behind because they made bad choices. They're falling behind because the system around them is evolving faster than their income can keep up. And as the AI economy continues to reshape the job market, that sense of slipping, that feeling of losing ground, is becoming universal. Because when the core ingredients of the American dream grow more expensive every year, while wages stay flat, the dream doesn't just get delayed, it gets threatened. And no group feels this pressure more intensely than the American middle class. For decades, the middle class wasn't just an income bracket, it was an identity, a symbol of stability, a sign that you had made it. But today, that stability feels fragile. Middle-class families are doing everything they were told to do. They work full-time jobs. They manage responsibilities. They budget carefully. They plan for the future. And still, they feel themselves slipping. Every year, they pay more for the same life. Every year, their margin for error shrinks. Every year, they watch their financial cushion dissolve into rent increases, medical bills, car repairs, and school costs. It's not dramatic enough to look like a crisis. It's not sudden enough to make headlines, but it's slow, relentless erosion, the kind that wears people down until they stop believing anything can improve. The middle class used to be the group that had options, choices, pathways upward. Now many feel trapped between 2 forces they can't control: a rising cost of living on one side and a wage system reshaped by AI on the other. They're not failing. They're being outpaced. The economy they grew up believing in, the one where hard work guaranteed progress, isn't the economy they're living in now. And for the first time in generations, Millions of middle-class Americans are asking questions their parents never had to ask. How do I move up if the ladder keeps shrinking? How do I save when everything costs more? Why does it feel like I'm always one emergency away from disaster? This quiet, persistent fear is becoming one of the defining emotions of American life. Because once the middle class loses its sense of security, the foundation of the entire economy begins to shake. And the most painful part? They're caught in a transformation they didn't choose and weren't prepared for. Yet they're the ones being forced to adapt the fastest. But here's the twist. AI can save the middle class, or erase it completely. For all the fear and uncertainty surrounding the AI economy, there's a part of the story Americans rarely hear. A part that isn't about loss, but possibility. Because while AI is reshaping the workforce, it's not just eliminating roles. It's creating entirely new ones. Roles that didn't exist 5 years ago. Roles built around human strengths, not machine speed. Roles that reward adaptability, creativity, judgment, and vision. And these jobs are growing fast. Companies now need workers who can guide AI systems, not compete with them. They need people who understand how to structure problems, ask the right questions, and translate messy human goals into precise machine instructions. This is the rise of a new category of work. Not manual, not traditional office work, but AI-enhanced work. And the skills that matter most aren't the ones people usually imagine. The first is prompting and reasoning. Not just typing commands into a tool, but knowing how to think critically, how to break down a question, how to guide an AI model toward a better answer. It's the difference between use AI and use AI well. Workers who master this skill aren't replaced by algorithms, they direct them. The second is problem decomposition. AI is powerful, but it can't understand a problem. Unless a human knows how to structure it, workers who can break big challenges into clear, solvable pieces become indispensable. They turn chaos into clarity, something no algorithm can truly replicate. The third is systems thinking. The AI economy isn't made of isolated tasks. It's made of interconnected workflows. People who can see the bigger picture, how tools, teams, decisions, and processes fit together, become the architects of the new workplace. Companies don't just want them, they compete for them. And then there are human interaction jobs. The roles AI can't replace because they depend on empathy, trust, negotiation, and emotional intelligence. Nurses, therapists, teachers, team leaders, skilled tradespeople who combine craft with judgment, advisors, mediators, and communicators who move people, not just information. These workers aren't being automated out. They're becoming more valuable. Because AI can handle the repetitive burden, freeing humans to focus on what only humans can do. This is the breakthrough moment. The AI economy isn't just a threat, it's a redistribution of opportunity, a reshaping of value, a chance for millions of Americans to step into work that is richer, more meaningful, and more future-proof than anything before. The challenge isn't whether these jobs will exist. They already do. The challenge is whether Americans are given the path to reach them. And if you want proof that a worker can rise in the AI economy, you don't need to look at tech founders or Silicon Valley success stories. Look at someone like Jordan. Jordan was a customer service rep, a job built on scripts, routine responses, and predictable workflows. She wasn't a programmer. She didn't have a degree in computer science. She didn't even consider herself good with technology. But when her company introduced AI tools to assist with support tickets, something changed. Most people on her team resisted. They saw AI as a threat. They feared it would reduce hours, cut positions, and undermine their experience. But Jordan approached it differently. She started experimenting with the AI system. Not because she was told to, but because she was curious. She learned how to rewrite prompts to get better answers. She learned how to break customer issues into smaller, clearer pieces the AI could process. She learned how to combine machine output with her own judgment and communication skills. Within months, she wasn't just using the system, she was improving it. Her managers noticed. Her colleagues asked her for help. And the company created a new role around her strengths. AI workflow specialist. A job that didn't exist a year earlier. A job that paid more. A job with a future. Jordan didn't become a coder. She became adaptable. And adaptability is the currency of the AI age. Which brings us to the most important idea of this entire chapter: the adaptability curve. Every worker in America is somewhere on it. At the bottom are those who resist the change. They cling to old processes, old habits, old assumptions about how work is supposed to feel. They survive for a while until the system outgrows them. In the middle are those who react only when they're forced to. They learn just enough to keep up, but never enough to move ahead. They remain vulnerable, always one shift away from falling behind again. And at the top are the workers like Jordan, people who lean into the transition, people who see AI not as a threat, but as leverage, people who build skills the system values, not because they were told to, but because they understand where the world is going. The adaptability curve isn't about intelligence, education, or background. It's about attitude. It's about willingness. It's about recognizing that the future won't wait for anyone to feel ready. But even with the right mindset, even with the right tools, even with the right skills, most Americans still face one final challenge. After everything we've covered, the tracking, the traps, the wage pressure, the collapsing middle, the rising expectations, the shrinking margin for error, it's easy to believe the AI economy is a tidal wave no one can stand against. But that isn't the truth. The truth is this: AI isn't destroying everyone. It's only destroying the people who don't adapt. AI doesn't care about your background. It doesn't care about your degree. It doesn't care how long you've been in your role or how loyal you've been to your company. It rewards adaptability. It rewards curiosity. It rewards workers who understand how to work with it, not against it. For everyone else, the ones who cling to the old rules of the workplace, the AI economy feels merciless. But that's not because the technology is unstoppable. It's because America is unprepared. Because the second truth is even harder to swallow. America isn't losing to AI because of the technology. America is losing because it failed to retrain its workforce. Other countries invest in national upskilling systems. America leaves workers to figure it out alone. Other nations update education to match the future. America still teaches for a world that no longer exists. Other economies build pathways into new industries. America builds debt, obstacles, and complexity. The problem isn't AI. The problem is the gap between the speed of innovation and the speed of preparation. And until that changes, the divide will widen. But here's the final truth, the one every American needs to understand as the dust settles. The future of work is not a battle between humans and machines. It's a battle between humans who know how to use AI and humans who don't. Two people doing the same job won't earn the same income if one can amplify their output with AI and the other can't. Two workers entering the job market won't have the same opportunities if one knows how to collaborate with algorithms and the other fears them. The winners of the AI economy won't be the ones with the most experience. They'll be the ones who can evolve the fastest. And the path forward for America isn't to stop AI, slow AI, or fear AI. It's to build a workforce that can thrive beside it. Because the AI economy isn't waiting. It isn't pausing. It isn't asking permission to change the world. And every American now faces the same choice: adapt or be left behind. And in the end, it all comes down to a simple truth. A truth every worker, every family, every community in this country must confront for themselves. The AI economy won't wait for America. So every American must decide whether to evolve or be left behind. Because the future isn't patient. It isn't gentle. It isn't slowing down to match the pace of our institutions or the comfort of our habits. It's moving forward, with or without us. Some will rise with it. Some will fall behind it. But all of us will feel its impact. And as the new economy unfolds, the question is no longer whether AI will shape America, but whether America is ready to shape itself. Silence follows, a breath, a moment, and then the final thought: the choice is here, the window's open, and the future is already underway.